1. Call. 2. Cook. 3. Drive. 4. Eat. 5. Listen to music. 6. Paint. 7. Play. 8. Read. 9. Sell. 10. Shop. 11. Sing. 12. Speak. 13. Visit. 14. Watch TV. 15. Work. Interviews around the world. Listen to the model.
What's your name?
My name is Antonio.
Where do you live?
I live in Rome.
What language do you speak?
I speak Italian.
Tell me, what do you do every day?
I eat Italian food, I sing Italian songs, and I watch Italian TV shows.
Do exercises 1 through 6. You will hear the correct line after you speak. 1. We'll begin.
What's your name?
My name is Carmen.
Where do you live?
I live in Madrid.
What language do you speak?
I speak Spanish.
What do you do every day?
I eat Spanish food, I sing Spanish songs, and I watch Spanish TV shows.
2. We'll begin.
What's your name?
My name is Kenji.
Where do you live?
I live in Tokyo.
What language do you speak?
I speak Japanese.
What do you do every day?
I eat Japanese food, I sing Japanese songs, and I watch Japanese TV shows.
3. We'll begin.
What's your name?
My name is Nicole.
Where do you live?
I live in Paris.
What language do you speak?
I speak French.
What do you do every day?
I eat French food, I sing French songs, and I watch French TV shows.
4. We'll begin.
What are your names?
Our names are Eric and Monica.
Where do you live?
We live in Berlin.
What language do you speak?
We speak German.
What do you do every day?
We eat German food, we sing German songs, and we watch German TV shows.
5. You begin.
What's your name?
My name is Jae-hee.
Where do you live?
I live in Seoul.
What language do you speak?
I speak Korean.
What do you do every day?
I eat Korean food, I sing Korean songs, and I watch Korean TV shows.
6. You begin.
What are your names?
Our names are Boris and Natasha.
Where do you live?
We live in Moscow.
What language do you speak?
We speak Russian.
What do you do every day?
We eat Russian food, we sing Russian songs, and we watch Russian TV shows.
People around the world. Listen to the model.
What's his name?
His name is Miguel.
Where does he live?
He lives in Mexico City.
What language does he speak?
He speaks Spanish.
What does he do every day?
He eats Mexican food, he reads Mexican newspapers, and he listens to Mexican music.
Do exercises 1 through 6. You will hear the correct line after you speak. 1. We'll begin.
What's her name?
Her name is Kate.
Where does she live?
She lives in Toronto.
What language does she speak?
She speaks English.
What does she do every day?
She eats Canadian food, she reads Canadian newspapers, and she listens to Canadian music.
2. We'll begin.
What's his name?
His name is Carlos.
Where does he live?
He lives in San Juan.
What language does he speak?
He speaks Spanish.
What does he do every day?
He eats Puerto Rican food, he reads Puerto Rican newspapers, and he listens to Puerto Rican music.
3. We'll begin.
What's her name?
Her name is Anna.
Where does she live?
She lives in Athens.
What language does she speak?
She speaks Greek.
What does she do every day?
She eats Greek food, she reads Greek newspapers, and she listens to Greek music.
Four. We'll begin.
What's his name?
His name is Ming.
Where does he live?
He lives in Hong Kong.
What language does he speak?
He speaks Chinese.
What does he do every day?
He eats Chinese food, he reads Chinese newspapers, and he listens to Chinese music.
5. You begin.
What's her name?
Her name is Sonia.
Where does she live?
She lives in Rio de Janeiro.
What language does she speak?
She speaks Portuguese.
What does she do every day?
She eats Brazilian food, she reads Brazilian newspapers, and she listens to Brazilian music.
6. You begin.
What's his name?
His name is Omar.
Where does he live?
He lives in Cairo.
What language does he speak?
He speaks Arabic.
What does he do every day?
He eats Arabic food, he reads Arabic newspapers, and he listens to Arabic music.
Different faces, different foods in different places, side by side.
Antonio is from Rome. Boris and Natasha are from Moscow. And Anna is from Athens. Who are these people? Where do they live? What languages do they speak? And what do they do every day? I'm Robert Lynch. Join me now as we meet people around the world. What's your name?
My name is Antonio.
Where do you live?
I live in Rome.
What language do you speak?
I speak Italian.
Tell me, what do you do every day?
I eat Italian food, I drink Italian wine, and I sing Italian songs. Volare!
What are your names?
My name is Boris.
And my name is Natasha.
Where do you live?
We live in Moscow.
What language do you speak?
We speak Russian.
Boris and Natasha, tell our audience, what do you do every day?
We eat Russian food.
We drink Russian vodka.
You drink Russian vodka. I drink Russian tea.
And we sing Russian songs.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, their names are Boris and Natasha. They live in Moscow. They speak Russian. They eat Russian food. They drink Russian vodka.
Don't forget the Russian tea.
They drink Russian tea. And they sing Russian songs. And what about you? What's your name? Where do you live? What language do you speak? And what do you do every day? We'll be right back with more people around the world.
What's his name?
His name is Miguel.
Where does he live?
He lives in Mexico City.
What language does he speak?
He speaks Spanish.
What does he do every day?
He eats Mexican food. He reads Mexican newspapers. And he listens to Mexican music.
Buenos dias. My name is Miguel. I live here in Mexico City. You know, Mexico is a wonderful country. Come to Mexico and meet the people, eat the food, and listen to our beautiful music. See you soon.
And now, People Around the World takes you to Greece. What's your name?
My name is Anna.
Where do you live, Anna?
I live here in Athens.
What language do you speak?
I speak Greek.
Tell our viewers, Anna, what do you do every day?
I eat Greek food, I read Greek newspapers, and I listen to Greek music.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, her name is Anna. She lives in Athens. She speaks Greek. She eats Greek food. She reads Greek newspapers. And she listens to Greek music. Thank you, Anna. And that's our program for today. This is Robert Lynch inviting you to join us next time for another edition of People Around the World.
Talk about it. Where do they live? And what do they do? Listen.
My name is Linda. I live in London. I work in a library.
My name is Brian. I live in Boston. I work in a bank.
We're Walter and Wendy. We live in Washington, D.C. We work in an office.
My name is Bob. I live in Buffalo. I drive a bus.
We're Howard and Henry. We live in Honolulu. We paint houses.
My name is Tina. I live in Tampa. I drive a taxi.
We're Carol and Ray. We live in Cleveland. We cook in a restaurant.
My name is Susan. I live in San Diego. I sell cars.
My name is Victor. I live in Vancouver. I play the violin.
Mr. and Mrs. DiCarlo. Listen. Mr. and Mrs. DiCarlo live in an old Italian neighborhood in New York City. They speak a little English, but usually they speak Italian. They read the Italian newspaper. They listen to Italian radio programs. They shop at the Italian grocery store around the corner from their apartment building. And every day they visit their friends and neighbors and talk about life back in the old country. Mr. and Mrs. DiCarlo are upset about their son, Joe. He lives in a small suburb outside the city. He speaks a little Italian, but usually he speaks English. He reads American newspapers. He listens to American radio programs. He shops at big suburban supermarkets and shopping malls. And when he visits his friends and neighbors, he always speaks English. In fact, Joe speaks Italian only when he calls his parents on the telephone or when he visits them every weekend. Mr. and Mrs. DiCarlo are sad because their son speaks so little Italian. They're afraid he's forgetting his language, his culture, and his country. How to say it. Hesitating. Listen.
What do you do every day?
Well, I work, I read the newspaper, and I visit my friends.
Listening. Listen and choose the correct answer. 1.
My brother lives in Chicago.
2.
My name is Peter. I work in an office.
3.
This is my friend Carla. She speaks Italian.
4.
My sister drives a bus in Chicago.
5.
We read the newspaper every day.
6.
My parents visit their friends every weekend.
7.
Charlie cooks in a Greek restaurant.
8.
My brother and I paint houses.
9.
My friend Betty calls me every day.
10.
My parents usually shop at the mall.
11. Pronunciation. Blending with does. Listen, then say it.
Where does he work?
Where does she live? What does he do? What does she read?
Say it, then listen.
Where does he shop? Where does she eat? What does he cook? What does she talk about?